Do-do-do-do-do. Hello everybody, it's old Shazizz here out here in my mad science laboratory. I'm working on a deal to try to use feedback to amplify, kind of like on a you know, the whole boy pushing the boy on the swing thing. When you push him, it takes a little bit of energy to push and get the kid swinging on the swing, and then after a while, with the momentum getting going and the force going, you can get to the point where all you got to do is use your finger to push, and you can keep that swing going back and forth like that. It's kind of like on a guitar amplifier. Whenever you're playing your guitar and you get your guitar pickups too close to the amplifier, it starts to feed back, and that signal bounces back and forth until it gets really strong and squeals like a pig and drives you insane, and so everybody says, hey, you're squealing me out of here. Anyway, so what I'm doing is, have you seen this coil right here? This is my primary coil that I made, is identical to this one right here, which is made out of big old house, heavy duty house wiring, like you'd run your 240 lines and such or whatever for your house. And inside of this thing right here is made out of the same style of wire. It was really tough to bend to get all the way up and through there. There's two secondaries on here, and there's two top loads. This is one top load here with the copper and the aluminum base right there, and then there's the aluminum top load right here. So there's two secondaries connected to the earth ground, which are going down through these two spark gaps, down and through this spectrum tube setup. There's 3 spectrum tubes inside there, and on the end of each one of them are neodymium magnets to help the process of sending the electrons through. So there would be the south pole, and there would be the north pole. So just like in a microwave magnetron, when the electron flow gets going, I want to keep it going steady and pulling it all off into the same direction. But at a certain point, I want this to actually start feeding back over into this particular coil over here, this shazizz coil. Doggone antivirus driving me nuts. Renew, give us your money. That's what they want. Anyway, so what should happen here? This is connected to the ground. It's going around through both of the secondaries, one up inside, one on the outer side. This has a capacitor layer under this whole setup right here on the outer skin of the pipe, and it also has 2 capacitors inside there, made like this out of aluminum tubes and tape with an insulator in between the 2 capacitor layers. So when I fire this thing up, if everything works, this thing should start getting a little bit stronger, swinging back and forth until it starts to feeding back, causing this spark gap over here to start popping and charging that capacitor over there. So I will run this and see how this goes. Kill a few lights around here so you can see the plasma effect real good. And we'll just see how it goes. So, alright, you can see I got a really good effect going in there. Only one of my spark gaps over there is going, so I need to make a slight adjustment on it. I need these two to rock back and forth. You can hear a little ticking going on over here. It should get stronger. Alright, I don't know if you can see that plasma, that CRT screen right there. Turn some more lights off. This should start getting going faster and faster as it goes, and it should start rocking back and forth. Just adjusted the spark gap a bit. I had a bit of popping going on over here, but now it seems to have stopped. There it goes. Let me see if I can get you down here to where you can see this spark gap over here. Arrgh! Crap, you can't see it, can you? Alright, let me see if that's any better. Come on. I'll make a damn liar out of me. There it goes. Come on. Let's see if we can boost it up a hair. Every time you see that thing light up and hear that tick, that's feedback charging that capacitor. Now keep in mind, this coil right here is only connected to the ground. It's just picking up energy off of that coil. If it's going good enough, it should start popping pretty loud. Alright, well that's charging up. Let's go over and get a closer look at this. It's adjusted pretty good. And I don't know if you can see those things rocking back and forth there, fluctuating on and off over on the spark gaps. I'll mess up my damn wire. Alright, since I just heard the kid pull up because it's fixing on getting interrupted. You see that screen there. See if I can adjust it a hair. Okay, that's all the way off. All right. Alright, well, if I got anything to this, I should get some sort of power out of that. Damn. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, look what it did to my screwdriver. Anyway, I got it running really smooth. Now all I got to do is just fine tune it and get this thing to getting that feedback going. Earlier I had this thing, it was a popping like popcorn. I don't know, let me get this cord. Ah! Burn it. Look on the side here. There are 4 spark gaps. I can tune all 4 of them. And they'll pop back and forth just like popcorn. I think I got too close with that damn camera. Anyway, this particular coil right here is being powered by one leg off of the oil burner igniter, which is way down there. I don't know if you can even see it. I ain't sticking my finger down to pointing it out though. I did that once. It didn't go over so well. Alright, well, I'll keep you updated and see how this thing goes. Hello everybody, it's me again. Short addendum here. I wanted to point out a couple things. First off, these 2 wires right here are the one capacitor layer, and these 2 wires right here are to the other capacitor layer. I believe that this one is the inner capacitor layer and this one is the outer capacitor layer. Matter of fact, I'm positive they are. Anyway, had a little problem with my oil burner igniter. It seemed to be getting weak because it got hot, so I need to just up and buy me a whole new oil burner igniter. But you can see that it did charge the capacitor real well. And this coil right here, this is that aluminum primary. It's not connected in any way to this portion right here. And you can see it's not as strong as it should be. And on the capacitor layers, they're getting juice, but they're not as strong as they should be. Still wouldn't touch them with my bare fingers. Let me see if I even light up a light bulb. Do-do-do-do. Yep. That's off of the capacitor layers right there. So, you know, it's getting energy. Not as much as it should because of the doggone oil burner igniter. I'm just going to have to go and buy a new one. I've pretty much used that one for so long it's gotten hot and gotten weak. But as soon as I get it all situated, get me a new oil burner igniter, I'd like to buy a bunch of them suckers, man. Keep my experiments up with my plasma and all that. There we go. So the whole concept of having a coil inside of a coil is I was going to energize the outer coil at the same time energizing the inner coil, at the same time punching up 2 capacitor layers, and making the energy a lot stronger than it normally would be with just a single air core coil, whatever. But in this particular experiment, it only worked a portion of what I wanted it to do. It did charge the capacitor up, it just didn't charge it up as good as it should have. Those spark gaps should have been popping really bright, and should have been pretty impressive, but apparently my oil burner igniter is getting hot, and so I guess I got to replace that and start over fresh. I'll keep you updated and get back with you as soon as I get me a new oil burner igniter, or let this one cool down and try to run the experiment again. I'll videotape it and get a video out so you can see it. It's essentially, like I said, the feedback is what I wanted to do to get that energy to get stronger and stronger as it goes, and that's the way that coil there was designed to do, to be that where it rocks back and forth. You've seen the dual spark gaps, so I can attune each coil individually and get them to where they'll pulse back and forth like this right here, sending that energy in through back and forth until it energizes this one over here and starts charging up the capacitors. When the capacitor gets to its full charge, it'll pop back into the deal and send a signal right back over the other direction. So when I get it all squared away, I'll do a better video for you. Peace and love, everybody. Take care. Stay tuned.